Hey everybody, it's me Edward Jones back with a new video. These are some of my thoughts on the 2024 uh, presidential debate, the first one. Oh boy, before I get into that, I don't know which is worse. I don't know which is worse, the heat or the humidity. I think the humidity at least causes you to slow down. Um, it will, the humidity will tire you out, but not so much where you just be more you just feel uncomfortable. It's like you wish you want to just get hop in the shower. I heard someone once describe being in South Carolina during the summertime is like it's like you're taking a shower without actually without actually getting in the water because the humidity is so rough here in Columbia. But I think the humidity is I think I take that over the just the heat, the extreme heat. So the debate. Man, I was watching with a friend last night. We had gotten some pizza and some snacks, and we watched the whole debate through. We did switch between CNN's streaming, and I think I want to say we got on Tim Pool's. My buddy he likes to watch Tim Pool. I picked up I picked up a little bit of the debate on Rumble, on Steven Crowder's channel on my phone. We watched the debate, and that was a we were laughing through a lot of it. Just like when the debate first started, we recognized there's not gonna be an audience. We were surprised that they actually were gonna have Trump and Biden standing up because there were some talks about having them sit down, but they have him standing. And I remember when Biden first walked out on stage. I don't know if you really say he walked out. It was he just stepped. He took his sweet time. Yeah, the guy is not. I did a video 4 years ago talking about elder abuse concerning Biden. Uh, yeah, this is elder abuse 2.0. That he was not ready. They were talking about how they spent like 6 or 7 days at Camp David getting him ready. Man, he was not ready. Um, he his thoughts weren't really in line, and he it really was his his face. When Trump came, it was also when Trump walked out. He came out. He walked up to the podium, and when I remember when Biden first spoke, he spoke and like it was like it's almost like he was reading off a script, and he didn't. I first thing I said, he must be on. They must got him on something strong, but he didn't blink. He didn't blink for maybe like the first minute of him speaking. I was like, so what is he on? What they get him on? Um, and when Trump was talking, they had the split screens. We could see both Trump and Biden on the screen. His mouth was just open. He looked dazed. He like just looking at Trump, and then it's like he wasn't really sure where he was or what's going on. Um, and just some of his responses, it's like if one of the things I said that Trump lied a lot. Okay, fine. You want to say that Trump lied? Okay. Well, just pointing out that someone's lying doesn't good. You have to actually state what are they lying about and what the truth is. But Biden couldn't do that. All he can do is keep repeating the line that Trump's a liar, or I never heard that. That's malarkey, things like that. But he didn't give a rebuttal. He didn't back up his claim of Trump lying with any evidence. Um, Trump held his own, which is no surprise. I remember saying to my friend that I said the best strategy that Trump needs to employ is let Biden talk. I remember you talking about that. He was saying into a crowd. Should I tear into him? Should I really give him this work, or should I just let Biden speak? And the best thing he did was let him speak. And there were times when Biden rambled on, but he couldn't. He thought he was finished. He thought he used up all his time, but there was still like 40 something seconds left on the clock, or 61. I think it was sometimes like 61 seconds left, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and it's like he trying to, but he really, how could he really back up his, how could Biden back up what he's done for the past almost like 3.5, nearly almost 4 years? He couldn't. Trump was smart in pointing out every mistake, at least the major mistakes that he had made. There's major screw ups. He kept hammering him on the border, on Afghanistan, um, on international relations, on the war in Ukraine, the war in between Israel and Palestine. He kept going. He hit him consistently on those points. And I remember there was a question about child care, which Trump he didn't directly address child care, but then I was thinking, I said, well, what's the child care doesn't matter. That's not a main that's not really a main issue. The main issue is the border. It's the border, international policies, and most of all the economy. And Trump and then one thing I think a lot of people noticed is that Trump was able to back up his points with numbers. Whether you want to say numbers are fake or this, that, and the other, he was able to trot them out like it was nothing, like it was. And I think it's because he's a businessman. He's a salesman. He this is that's his wheelhouse. That's his realm. So he's able to convey those points fluidly. He's able to articulate his points without any issues. But Biden couldn't. But Biden really couldn't. He really couldn't do that. Um, and my buddy, he's checking his phone. He's texting with some friends. They couldn't watch the debate with us, but they're watching. One's out of state, one's in state, and they're going back and forth about how bad this is going. And he said a couple people he know has gone from voting Democrats, not voting, to going from voting Democrat to voting for Trump. The debate was they were saying Trump wasn't practicing for the debate. He was still in the campaign. Trump had to practice because his strategy of letting Biden just talk worked flawlessly. And it's worked so well that now you have the mainstream media is now there are people talking about how bad Biden did, and can we can we switch Biden out? Like, at this point, I don't think they can. First off, they can't do it because first off they hyped Biden up too much. They made Biden up to seem like he was physically fit. He was doing so well. There's no way that Trump could be. They hyped him up so much that they can't go back. They can't back down from it. It's like you were pushing someone to fight you, and then when you actually see what they're made of, you want to try to back out. Like, no, you can't back out. You in this. The media has made itself far too committed to Biden. They can't back down from this. They can't back down from without severely hurting whatever credibility they have left. Second, who are they replacing with? Kamala Harris? No, that ain't happening because she's just as bad as Biden. She can't articulate any original thought. Especially with her track record. All she had was the border, and she screwed that up. They was talking about who else? Gavin Newsom. He can't do it because he's not well known enough to people, and and the things that people do know him for is he's the governor of California. How's California doing nowadays? Terribly. People are leaving that state in record numbers. It's like who else? They were talking about maybe will Michelle Obama do it? No, she said that she openly said she would not run for president. It's they've gaslit the public so much that now the public truly recognizes what the media has been doing after tonight's debate, and the media is now the Democratic Party is freaking out. Like, well, because how can they find a way out of this? There virtually is no way out of this. You know, even if they were to convince Biden to drop out of the race, who could step in? Because remember, they basically killed the primaries. There was no one in the there was no one to go up against them. They didn't entertain any of their candidates for the Democratic Party. They were all in for Biden. Now they have to be all in for Biden. Who knows how the Democratic convention is going to go? You know, and they're talking about doing a second debate. I think in August. Which if they do, it's gonna be. I think it'll be even worse because really, if what happened last night is an indication of what may happen months from now, it ain't gonna look any. I don't think it's gonna look any better. You know, and it's so. And one thing I am enjoying. I am enjoying the highlights. Watching these anchors from CNN and MSNBC and daytime television talk about how the debate went and try and hear all the coping that they have to do because they're afraid to say how they actually feel. Well, some of them are saying how they think Biden is they think his goose is cooked, but many of them are still I want to see how many can actually get past their TDS and actually recognize that look, Biden's out to lunch. He's not there. He's not physically and mentally fit for the job. And again, I said this is elder. I said it 4 years ago. This is elder abuse. That's clear, and that's the term I've heard come up in a couple of videos. This is elder abuse, putting Biden up on that stage. And also another thing is, he's basically being shuffled around by people in his administration and by his wife. When the debate was over, I remember CNN, they cut the feed. And by the way, I gotta say CNN I hate to admit it, but they did a good job on the debate. Because of Trump's strategy, they didn't have to worry about cutting his mic. If anything, they cut Biden's talking short because he was rambling on, and they tried to save him as best they could. But when the debate was over, there was no handshake before or after. Trump just walked off. He walked off stage, got back to doing handling his business. Biden couldn't walk off the stage. Jill had to come up and escort him off the stage. And then when they did a post debate, a pep rally, she was talking to him like he was a little kid, saying, "Oh, you did a good job, Joe. You answered all the questions." That was his job. That was his job. All the people. He has no one that truly cares for him. You see, there's plenty of footage out there that shows that he's been out to lunch for a long time, and the people around him don't. They either face it and just taking advantage of it, or they refuse to accept it. But it was something else, Like I said, I can't wait to see how things progress from this point forward. I think it's actually going to boost Trump's numbers because a lot of people who watch that debate or who are catching the playback from the debate, they're saying, "Oh my goodness, this guy, I can't either I can't vote for him, or I'm not voting at all." So hey, I mean that's just how it's going so far. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. But please tell me what you think. Did you catch the debate Thursday night? Did you watch it all the way through? Did you tune out the parts of it? Do you have any favorite parts? I gotta say, one of my favorite parts. I think Trump actually called him Brandon. I think it was maybe a half hour into the debate, he called him Brandon at some point. It was that, and then it was also we beat Medicare. So yeah, you beat Medicare, you beat the death. It's wow. The thing was that was a sight to see. It was brutal. Like I said, I'm excited for it. But please share your thoughts in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna try to get home and get out of this humidity into some air conditioning. Any gripes, complaints, send me a PM. I see I can address them. That's my video. Just thoughts on the 2024, the first presidential debate. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care, be safe, stay strapped, and God bless.